Good evening and hello to you all. I'm terribly sorry we got delayed by our neighbour's cat. The neighbour's cat wanted milk. It was the cat that wanted the cream, and the cat has been dashing around the floor. So I do apologise. I blame the cat. Um, if it hadn't been for the cat, we would have been here on time. A new tangerine number. See a Vicomte a lovely clothing store that used to operate on the King's Road in London, and the owner was allegedly having a bit of a sexual liaison with Pippa Middleton, set in the home counties with her decision to build an 82-meter long swimming pool at her new mansion, supposedly in Berkshire. The only swimming pools that are of an equivalent length are two leisure centres. Mrs. Middleton, or whatever she's called now, Mrs. Matthews, because she's married the brother of Spencer Matthews, him of Made in Chelsea, is building a ridiculously large swimming pool. But her ex-lovers, one of whom was a clothing brand called Vicomte A, and I even have a rather fancy belt I have been bought, but I can't show you that right now. I think it's probably a little inappropriate to start showing my belt, but anyway, I'm in a tangerine shirt as opposed, and I am slouching and looking rather bad for milk. And the neighbour has gone off looking for said cat of it, but curiosity generally kills the cat, doesn't it? So God knows what will happen to the cat in the night. We had another cat here the other day. In this place, there are some very strange cats, but equally, like anywhere in any small town, it's a bit like the tales of the unexpected. Cats. Wherever there's a cat, there's a problem. Everyone always said to me, never trust a woman who has cats. I totally agree. I don't go near cats. I don't like cats. They terrify me. Most of them run away from me. I like dogs. I trust dogs because dogs are more decent. But nothing wrong with a cat if you love a cat. I was asked on the Radio 4 Today program, no, not Radio 4 Today, Radio 4's Saturday Live, they asked about strange things as a child, and I did write in. They didn't quote me, unlike they did quote me the Woman's Hour the day before, about unusual things you did as a child, and I said, well, I used to like going near unusual animals like herons and zonkies. Now, the heron would come and sit next to me and have a sardine. The zonkie, all it wanted to do was kick sheep. It hated sheep. The zonkie, hated the sheep. I liked Zonk. Zonk was cool. Zonk was my kind of creature. Llamas. Whenever we had horses in the vicinity, the llamas were always there to calm the horses. Llamas are the ferret. I wasn't allowed to have a ferret. I was told they're evil, all the rest of it. I got every book by a man called James Taylor, I think his name was. I got all the books on ferrets. I bought all the leads, the nets, everything I could possibly need. Told, no, you can't have a ferret. On what I could have for my ferret, I'm still told, no, you're not having a ferret. I was taken to this place in Liverpool. It's an absolutely ridiculous story. My mother and I went there. It was a council estate in Liverpool, the National Ferret Centre. And there we are at this National Ferret Centre run by these two lesbians. Mrs. whatever her name was, and Mrs. whatever her name was. And they said, well, do you understand that you have to look after the ferret? All these rules. And they said, fine, you passed the test. I passed the test. They then said, well, if you're going to have one ferret, you have to have two ferrets. Didn't want two ferrets. This one was bad enough. There we were. So then I had to go out into a council house. And Angela Rayner has been on the radio today going, council houses. And I referred to my Twitter. She thought council houses was one word. She's rather dumb. Anyway, nothing wrong with a council house, nothing wrong with a ferret. Compo had lots of ferrets down his trousers. Anyway, there I was, and I was looking at these ferrets, so I had to choose two, not one. So I went around and I looked and I thought, which one seems to get on well with which one? I thought, no point separating out people ferrets that like one another. So I said, those two. So off we went. Well, we got back to the car. My mother's rather smart car was on bricks. We didn't get any ferrets. We went home on an AA tow truck, and that was the end of that. That is the end of this sad, sad story, because I never got my ferrets. I don't know why I'm telling you the story. It's a story that upsets me so much. My mother was irate that the car had been put on bricks. They'd stolen the very expensive wheels of the very expensive car. I will certainly not name the brand of the car because I think that will make it sound even more pretentious as a story. But I never got my ferret. I didn't even get one. I had everything. I had books and books galore about it. I've still probably got them somewhere. They're probably in a cupboard at my father's house. Ferrets are wonderful creatures, and treasure the memories of wonderful, beautiful creatures. So on Radio 4 today, they talked about weird creatures in your life. Well, I've had ferrets, zonkies, herons, crows. I had a pet crow for a while until the gamekeeper took it away and bashed it over its head and killed it. He wasn't very nice because it had a broken wing. Home in Broadstairs, I have collared doves. I have lovely birds, pigeons, and vicious and evil birds, not very nice birds. Sorts of Bambi Debonair says, I love collared doves. I agree with you. Humans tend to steal collared doves. They're a bit more timid. But Harriet Blanca is ready to do a quiz. Is buffering tonight, so things are slow. I don't know what that means. Utterly no idea. Very bad tonight. I never understood this. So the signal is perhaps we won't bother with a quiz. Well, maybe your connection is very slow. I don't know. My connection seems to be working. Every day I am buffering, says Tea and Toast and Taro. William Park says, no, it is you. Well, if this is not working, then I'm very, very sorry. Perhaps I should just stop because, frankly, I can't do anything about the speed of the internet in this house. We did have a visit from the Orange people today, but they are not able to install cables for some considerable period of time. Tina Griffiths can hear me. Well, I thank you, Tina. Harriet Blanca says it's just slow. You're complaining I've got two sets of sunglasses. The person who is traveling with me has to borrow my sunglasses, so I often have to take them back, and I happen to have two pairs with me. I buy everything in multiple units because if I like something, I have everything the same. So that's the only reason. I don't know why there were two sets there. I forgot to get rid of them. Never mind. Can I sit on the roof? No, there is no roof to sit on. Sit in the attic. Okay, well, you cannot hear me. I do apologize. I don't know what I can do about it. So I'm terribly sorry. The local restaurant is not open, so I cannot go there to talk from there. Heidi Crimmen says you are looking and sounding great. William Park says you're not too bad now. Sterling Oscar says it's getting better. I can hear, says Claudia, sorry. I don't know about internet. I have no comprehension of such. So I think I'll just carry on regardless. There's no point me trying to seem to be the way forward. And the Tory has won his 500, and he's managed to win the 500th winner at New. He won on the mid divisions, traveling nicely alongside French challenger trained by John Thaddy Golston, and he, my last game, I know I had a chance, but I didn't expect it. It was probably the sweetest one I had. I woke up this morning with a knot in my stomach. I didn't feel myself. I felt nervous, sad, and emotional, but at least I've got it done now. I've got 2 weeks left. It's getting close, and I'm getting so many best wishes, but I wouldn't be human if I was like this. At Longchamp, the crowd were amazing. York, they were amazing. Everywhere I've been, they've been incredible. And I don't think it will be any different on my last day at Ascot, Champions Day. I'm allowed to cry that day, but I've tried to keep it together today, he said. So well done to Frankie Dettori on his 500th win at Newmarket. Well done to Frankie Dettori. Salutations to him. Elsewhere, we have lowering the tone is Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York. Sarah, Duchess of York. This little bag of bilge thinks she's going to bag herself her own chat show. She thinks that she is going to be the new Ellen DeGeneres. Fergie is a greedy, grasping grabber. She is a piece of filth. She is a rotten scoundrel and a toe-sucking toe rag. She is disgraceful. Prince Andrew is suffering mounting bills, it's claimed by the Mail on Sunday in their exclusive by Caroline Graham, Peter Sheridan in Los Angeles, sorry. He's a lost soul, and the Duchess of York, is desperate to support him. What a load of utter rubbish. TV producer Amy Roseblown says that new formats are being discussed for the Duchess of York to do a new version of Ellen DeGeneres versus Ellen. Sarah was really good when we did the pilot. We've been friends since then, she says. Perhaps this producer should ask Ms. Rosenbaum, should ask the question of Sarah Ferguson. Fergie. Perhaps she should ask. Fergie, did you ever repay the loans and other benefits you took from Jeffrey Epstein? This is the only question that needs to be aired. The Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, took money from the known paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. She has never, ever explained if she repaid the money she took from the known paedophile. She took this money in 2008 to 10. He left prison in 2008. He was a convicted abuser, sexual offender. This woman is an abhorrent disgrace. Sarah Ferguson, Sarah Duchess of York, is now claiming she could possibly, this Rosenblatt is claiming she could possibly reasonably expect to earn around $2 million a year, but the figure will go considerably up should her show be a hit. They quote James Corden having earned up to $7 million before he quit to return to Britain. Why on earth does anyone want to hear from the ghastly Fergie? Drew Barrymore earned $4 million a year hosting a daily show. Now here I am on my little show talking to all of you. You probably think I'm a complete bore and a complete menace and a pain in the ass. But, you know, Kelly Clarkson got $3 million a year, whoever she was. I don't even know who she is. According to this, I don't know why she's been thrown into the mix. Never heard of her. There we go. Prince Andrew is going to spend millions fixing up his roof. And if they think that this is a way, the greedy, grabbing, grasping, needy and greedy, as I call them, you know, what a pair. Shameful. This is an utter scandal. It's an utter disgrace. Fergie and her revolting sidekick, who she lives with, you know, he settled a civil lawsuit in America to Virginia Roberts Giuffre for an alleged sum of $12 million. Well, why do you pay $12 million to someone you've never met? What a bag of bilge. He is an utter national embarrassment. You know, they call him Randy. They call him Randy Andy. That was the joke that they used to make on Spitting Image. Absolutely shocking and appalling. Absolutely awful. We don't need this man, and we don't need her on any kind of chat show. She's just a grifter. The pair of them should be confined to Siberia where they belong. They are disgusting, revolting, greedy, and needy. Appalling people. Elaine Harvey says, Fergie, you're just a wacko. Sweet Sue says, the party prince. Tea and Toast and Taro says his name was Randy, and really Andy. Busted says my thumb is up. Doc Savage says he was the Duke of Golf. There we go. It is, in essence, just what it is. He would be in prison if he wasn't a prince. Well, totally true. Pennine County says, I'll never go to Pizza Express ever again. Totally true. Fair enough. There we go. Overprivileged for every second of his life. I love seeing him fall, a true source of glee for me, says Chris. There we go. Rancid Andy says Mikey Bombastic. Orsini says he should be sharing a cell with Barrymore. Now, Michael Barrymore is another one who upsets me. And you all know this, so I will bring up the relevant detail again. 9 people went to a party. And somebody wrote to me this morning on one of the comments on this previous video and dared to suggest that Michael Barrymore was Mr. Innocent. Well, I will repeat my remarks yet again. 9 people went to a party. 8 of them are still alive. 1 of them was raped and murdered at the home of Michael Barrymore. 2 of the people present were women. They cannot have committed the rape and the murder. It is impossible. So that leaves 6 people who could have committed this crime. 1 person at the scene of the crime was Michael Barrymore. Michael Barrymore chose to flee the scene of the rape and the murder before the police arrived. Now, if you're an innocent person, you don't run away before the police arrive. He did. That leaves a question about Michael Barrymore. So Michael Barrymore is a person of interest in this case, in my particular view. And I support the Lubbock family, and I have spent much time supporting them. Now, another person who was there, I won't name his name because that may be defamatory, it may prejudice future investigations, was a convicted criminal. This convicted criminal was convicted of assault. He is a person known to be violent. Now, Stuart Lubbock's injuries were, and I'm not going to repeat them because it's so graphic and disgusting, and his poor children deserve to have justice. This person was a known convicted criminal. So I think we know who the suspects are in this story. I'm not suggesting that Mr. Barrymore committed any crime, but why would he not cooperate with authorities, and why did he run away? And where did the pool handle go? Where did the door handle go, and the pool thermometer go? So let's look into that. It is ridiculous and appalling that this was not properly dealt with at the time. Shocking beyond belief. Utterly outrageous. So thank you for bringing up the topic so I can again remind people of the truth of the story. The truth of this story is Barrymore is a liar and a deceiver. And, he's blocked me on Twitter. I don't care who you are, Barrymore. You are a shameful piece of scum. You rolled around on the floor drunk with a woman I helped have sent to prison, Baroness Marie Claire, Baroness von Orvensleben, a convicted racist and an evil, lowbrow piece of dirt who called foreign people all manner of names. She is scum. You are scum. You're absolutely disgraceful. And I will not stop calling you out, Barrymore. And, your friend Philip Schofield, he's a piece of toe rag. All the people you associate with, Josie Dozy Moron Gibson, absolute rubbish. And thank you to the woman that made the nasty remark going, how dare you attack Josie Gibson? Josie Gibson, you're dull. You're dull as ditch water. You're a waste of space. I want justice for the victim. Stuart Lubbock, how dare you send your little troll dogs in to attack me for daring to speak out to try and help get justice for people who deserve justice. I am simply supporting the family of a victim. I think the likes of the troll dogs should be sent to Siberia. I don't make any apology for my opinion. I stand by my opinion. I stand by decency. I stand by respect. I stand by support, helping get justice for victims and innocent people. Turning to which, I shall talk about something else. If I have it. Let's see if I've got it. Now, I spoke about Omar Benguet only the other day. Omar Benguet is a man who has been wrongly imprisoned. Mr. Benguet is innocent, in my humble opinion. I believe Mark Alexander is innocent, a man supported by not only me, but by Terry Waite. But anyway, Omar Benguet's supporters did share the information that I talked about the other evening about his case and the poor lady, Yong Oki Shin. But since then, Omar Benguet has decided to make his own comment. So I shall read it out to you. He says, "Hi everyone, I'm humbled to know that I have so much support out there. A massive thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to all the beautiful Italians that have joined this campaign, and thank you to all the witnesses that have come forward and told the truth. He is a very honest gentleman. He tells the truth of his own mistakes. He says, I was no angel because I was on drugs. Had to feed the habit and did stupid things, but I am not a murderer. I would not stab someone because they did not want to come back to a party. Remember, Nick was acquitted, and he goes into all the details of this story. And whoever this Delroy Woolray is was deported immediately back to Jamaica when they were supposed to have been with me. So some of it's badly written, but the sentiment is true. You can't write this stuff. Dorset police went round telling everyone that I was 100% guilty before any court appearance. When rumours went round I was this evil monster, I cursed them. I totally agree with Omar Benguet. Police in Britain, they don't do anything to support people who deserve to be supported. Mr. Benguet is an entirely innocent man. Mr. Benguet deserves an apology from Dorset Police. Mr. Benguet deserves damages from Dorset Police. Mr. Benguet should be allowed to leave jail. If he had admitted he was guilty of something, Mr. Benguet would have been let out of prison years ago. He refuses to admit that he did this because he is an entirely innocent man. Mr. Benguet is somebody we all should support because it is criminal and wrong that the justice system in the British Isles is so corrupt and wrong. And Dorset Police are not particularly on my radar. I'm more into the Metropolitan Police who do not look after my interests. I'm more interested in the Essex police, which I have to say have committed terrible grievances against many people I know. Absolutely shocking and appalling. And I have to say, this is the person who is sitting next to me is now interrupting. Sorry. This is a key moment of conversation, and I'm terribly sorry that I've been interrupted. This is very embarrassing. I do apologize to you all. Anyway, that is really not what I expected to happen, but there we go. So I understand now why it was so easy for the witnesses, he says, to give statements and sign whatever the police wrote. Their words, not mine. I thank God daily that I've been clean for over 20 years. I read a lot. I cook my own food. I go to the gym. I keep going for my family, and you give me hope and the strength to carry on fighting. I will never admit to something I have not done, he says. I would rather be carried out in a box. Thank you. What a courageous man he is. And I salute Omar Benguit. And I salute his sister, who continues to campaign for him. We must keep the message out there about Omar Benguit. Mr. Benguit is somebody who deserves all our support. He is decent, he is kind, he means well, and he has suffered a terrible, terrible thing because a man called Danilo Restivo, who is a serial killer, was the person that committed that crime, in my humble opinion. The evidence points to him, but oh no, Dorset police are lazy F-star bastards. Shame on them. I would like to see Dorset police brought to justice for what they have done to this poor man. This poor man deserves help, support from all of us. It is not correct what has happened to Omar Benguit. So please go and join the Free Omar Benguit group on Facebook. Please support it. Please share it. Please, let's get this message out there. Let's get justice for Omar Benguit, but also let's get justice for the victim of the crime, Yong Oki Shin. She was murdered by Danilo Restivo, without a doubt, in my view. And Mr. Restivo, his sidekick, his weird woman that he lived with, she's another person who I think I have no respect for. She's not committed a crime, but if you watch the BBC documentary, come out and support Omar Benguit. I have friends in Broadstairs, like the lovely lady called Kate Taylor. Kate watched the program. She wants justice for Omar. We all want justice for Omar. My young friend in Broadstairs, David had watched the program with his friends, and they agreed. Watch the program, you'll change your mind. Listen to the podcasts. There are lots of things out there. This is a case like with Mark Alexander. I don't go after many cases like with the Menendez brothers. Jeremy Bamber, I have mixed opinions. I think the evidence points to a need for a review of the case. But I can't conclude one way or the other with Jeremy Bamber. But in the case of Omar Benguit, Omar Benguit is completely 100% innocent. In the case of Mark Alexander, I conclude 100% innocent. I have read everything on these cases. I know more of the details. I've been to the court hearings for Mark Alexander. I think Mark Alexander, via Terry Waite, he needs to be let free. Let these people out. I think Jeremy Bamber deserves a review of his case, a whole proper review of his case. I don't understand certain details. The evidence to me points towards his innocence. I have one friend who went to school with him who believes he's completely innocent. I have another friend who lived with Sheila Caffell who believes he's completely guilty. I have another friend who knew Jeremy Bamber's birth father. He believes he's completely guilty. I have mixed opinions on that case, but the people I meet in the Jeremy Bamber case, I have to say the logic points towards Sheila Caffell being the killer rather than Jeremy Bamber. But in the cases of Omar Benguit and Mark Alexander, I truly believe these two men are innocent and should be free. I think it's completely wrong. It's just like with so many other cases, but these people's lives have been ruined. 20, 30 years in prison, it's not a nice way to spend your life. It's not fair. It's not correct. It's totally 100% wrong. So I would like you all to try and help me get justice for them. And in America, I want justice for the Menendez brothers. I want Governor Newsom to do something. He was, Gavin, I knew you before you were even mayor of San Francisco. I knew you back then when you were married to the dreadful Kimberly Guilfoyle. And you're thankfully no longer married to that wicked wench, and she's ended up with a Trump. Poor girl. She hasn't got a Trump card. She's got a Trump idiot. She is worse than the village fool, but she was a thoroughly awful woman. At least you're now married to a lovely lady. Why don't you give a chance to the Menendez brothers? Two brothers abused by their own parents. Let them have a life. Grant them what they need. Arrange it. You can do it. You could be president, Gavin Newsom. Do something decent along the way. Show some justice. It is time for the male Me Too movement. We've seen it this week with the Abercrombie and Fitch chatter. I care more about justice for the Menendez brothers. Refer to notes by Robert Rand, the journalist who covered the case. Refer to Hazel Thornton, the juror. I've been in touch with all of these people. I don't care whether you're interested in me or not, Gavin. But Gavin, I'm sure I'm very low on your radar now. But we had many mutual friends over the years, and I would like to see you do something good. Do some justice for the victims of abuse that were the Menendez brothers, abused by mum and dad, sexually abused by mum and dad. They were given a choice: fight or die. And that's what they did. They were told, you cannot leave this situation. The hell that they were in. And yes, they did a terrible thing, but they have been in prison for over 25 years now. This is not correct. I support the Menendez brothers. I stand with the Menendez brothers. I stand with Mark Alexander, with Omar Benguit, people who have been wrongfully imprisoned. I say Cheers to them, and cheers to their forthcoming impending freedom, because they all deserve it. I realize I cannot change law. I cannot bring anything about, but I can try and get the message out there. I have a voice because I have an audience. Okay, it's not the biggest substantialist audience on the planet, but with the Menendez brothers, the TikTok generation have started to follow them. And this has become a fascinating thing. These people were never even born when they were convicted. They saw this, they watched those programs, and they saw the injustice. It is time now, given new evidence has yet again emerged, that the Menendez father, Mr. Menendez Sr., had also abused other people. It is time that justice was revisited. You cannot keep this under wraps. These people have been wrongly imprisoned. They deserve to go to prison for manslaughter, without a doubt. I have no problem with them being put in prison for manslaughter. They did kill their parents. You can't go around with a gun killing people. But that does not mean they were guilty of murder. And their parents should have been prosecuted in their lifetime for abuse, their mother and their father, in my view, from what I gather from the evidence that I've seen. And that is disgraceful. But, going back to Omar Benguit, Mr. Benguit was a drug addict, but that does not make him a murderer. Mr. Benguit made lots of mistakes. He probably deserved to go to prison for other things because he clearly was a badly behaved person at that stage in his life. He has now reformed his character, but in the meantime, he has been imprisoned for a crime he clearly did not commit. Mark Alexander, on the other hand, had a degenerate father. His father was an evil, evil man. He lied and manipulated, and his son suffered as a result. He deserves to be freed for different reasons. But there we go. There are 3 cases of great injustice. Don't get me onto the freshwater 5. Fishermen who were completely set up. Look, there are many people in the world who commit crimes and they get sent down and they deserve to be sent down. These people are not those people. These are people who have been framed and completely wrongly treated. This is disgusting, it's disgraceful, it's wrong, it upsets me, and it makes me hugely offended. I want justice for those people, and I'm not going to shut up about it. I don't care how often I have to keep banging on about it. I'm terribly sorry if you're bored by me. If you're bored by me, turn me off. But I will not shut up. I will keep going on about these cases. And I also will talk about Jeremy Bamber because I do believe that the case deserves a review. I'm not in the whole 100% situation with that case. The other cases I mention, and I have 100% belief of the innocence, and it is terribly wrong. There we go. Kevin Hent says, I have a right to speak. Well, thank you, Kevin. I shall exercise my right to speak, but I'm terribly sorry if I'm boring you all, because I don't mean to bore people, but somebody has to speak up for victims of such things. And we have the lovely Lena here. Yes, Lena, cheers to you. You sent me some lovely socks. Thank you very much. And we have the wonderful Bambi Debonair. And we have the lovely Tea and Toast and the Claudia Nicole, sorry, Melissa. And there we go. I do apologize, but that is just my view of the world. So there we go. Anyway, we're coming up to 48 minutes, so moving swiftly along. Tonight I've been watching programs with my guests here in France about Lady Docker, Nora Docker, who was the wife of Sir Bernard Docker. She was also known as Lady Muck. She lived in Claridge's Hotel for a time, but she died in poverty, sadly, in Paddington at the railway station. It was a tragic end, and she used to like to play marbles. She used to love to play a game of marbles, but nobody else was ever allowed to win. But Lady Docker personified for me a different generation, and yes, she was a bit vulgar and a bit tacky, but she had the Docker Daimlers, and she did destroy the Daimler brand in a way with her extravagance. But she used to cover the seats of the cars in zebra hide, which I would never have considered acceptable, given I love zebras. Because she thought that mink was too hot to sit upon. And Lady Docker came up in conversation tonight. And she burnt the flag of Monaco. And you can go on YouTube, watch the Parfait video of Lady Docker, which was one of the first televised interviews, I think, of the modern generation. And it's in which she talks about what she did. This is a woman that was thrice married. Her first husband was a wine merchant. He was rich, but he wasn't good enough for her. So then she married the owner of Fortnum and Mason, but he wasn't good enough. So then she married the chief of Daimler. She was a bit of an Araviste. She was a social climber, but she certainly had brass as well as class. Well, she didn't have class, but she tried to have it. She liked to play marbles. On her yacht, Shamara, she'd bring the miners on board and have them dancing with her. But she fell out with Prince Rainier of Monaco, and she burnt the flag, and she got banned from the Côte d'Azur. And well, watch the video. I urge you to have a look at that. I say that's the video of the week. Go on YouTube, Lady Docker. Look up Lady Docker Parfait. You'll find a wonderful, wonderful story. You might not entirely understand it. There's some Australian man who makes a video about the whole story, so maybe watch that as well. Lady Docker bankrupted the company. She bought a castle on the company in Wales. She went a bit crazy with all the money and ended up broke and pauper's grave, basically. Sad ending, really. And then her daughter-in-law became a bit of a Fruit Loop as well. So there we go. Off the scale, loopy. Nicole doesn't have magnets on her fridge. Don't worry, I'm going to be taking back magnets to the magnet. Saint-Tropez magnets will be going to the magnet. Don't worry, we'll have a photograph of them there. There you go. Harriet Blanca is ready for the quiz. We're at 52 minutes, so we will start a quiz shortly. Fruit Loop, great phrase, says Pennine Counties. I tend to use all sorts of bizarre vernacular. There we go. Nicole has magnets on her fridge. Well, that's lovely. I have one which has got my name on it, but I don't have any other magnets. So perhaps if you want to send me a magnet, you can send a magnet my way. There we go. I don't suppose anyone will, but could be amusing. I'll take a photo. Me and a magnet. Anyway, here I am in my new tangerine number, and I'm trying to fit in, but my fridge is a wooden door, so well, then you can't put a magnet on that, can you? Nicole will send me a magnet. Oh, well, please send it to the magnet. Anything that you would like to send, correspondence or there otherwise, please send to the magnet, Albion Street, Broadstairs, because I will be back there in due course. I won't be back there for the foreseeable because it looks like I'm staying at least several more weeks here in France. So I won't be available in that vicinity for some time, but doesn't mean I'm not going to be talking and working away. But tomorrow we will be doing some more serious things. But today, I think it is time that we would like to do another quiz. Harry Giles says magnets, the 37 Albion Street, Broadstairs, CT10, 1NE. And anything you could send that would be nice for Samantha, who is the barmaid, and the lovely Steve, and the lovely George, and the lovely Nikki and Will, who own it, and the lovely Karen. Please send something their way. They love magnets too. So anything magnetic, more magnetic, the better. But there we go. Anyway, Harriet is very keen to start this quiz, and Harriet is a lovely lady, and a happy birthday to Harriet. And I hope she's had a wonderful time. Harry Giles says maybe a bottle of gin or two. If you could send gin, I would love gin. The more gin when I get back. I think I'll need gin to recover from this trip. I really will. So, gin, throw it all in. Thank you very much, Harry, for your kind suggestion. Harry is a wonderful, kind supporter, and thank you to him. And thank you to all of you for your kind support. It has been wonderful. Any other requests? I don't have any requests. Whatever you wish to do. I don't understand all this super chats, but if you wish to send us super chats, so be it. If you'd like me to do some kind of birthday greeting, I've had messages about that. I don't understand how all this works. I'm learning this technology very slowly. I'm not a technological person. I do the carrier pigeon, or I send a postcard. And I believe Alexis, who is my dear friend, who is probably here somewhere in this chat, has received my postcard. So I hope the other people have received the postcard, and I hope they've received the postcards I've sent. So I'm happy to send postcards also. But currently, the French postal system is also rather slow and confusing to me. But I do put the postcards in the post box, so whether they get to anyone, who only knows. But one of them has arrived, so that's positive. It's taken at least 5 days, but there we are. Bambi Debonair says, I am a lady. You sound like David Williams, I have to say. CJ says, when is my birthday? The 27th of January, but so not any time in the near future. Ask Sean Atwood. There we go, says Tina. Well, I'm hoping to do a program with Sean Atwood tomorrow, perhaps to talk about whatever he wishes to talk about. But it will depend whether I'm able to sit around all day waiting and doing these things, because I'm going to go off to probably Club 55 tomorrow for lunch, a very smart place in the south of France. But we will see. But I will be back, of course, myself, 9 o'clock tomorrow to talk to you all BST, which is 10 o'clock here. Now it's 11 o'clock here. Now it's 10 o'clock with you in England. Anyway, have I met Trevor McDonald? No, never met him at all. No. Not sure why you asked this question at this particular juncture, but no, I've never met Trevor McDonald. Hello, Jack from Dubai, says somebody else. I don't know. Hello, Jack from Dubai. Have I met Peter? Any stories on Peter Morrison? I have heard of him. I don't know about his stories. No, he's not a specific character of interest. That does not mean that he's a good person or a bad person, but I don't know. And I don't know his story. I can't possibly comment because I don't have enough information. Right, next question. Have I met Mark Almond? Never heard of Mark Almond, no. Any news on Katie Price? I think the skank, as they refer to her, is spinning around, and she did a very good interview with The Guardian where she came across as a lot more human. But, the bankruptcy continues, and, that's how she operates, the old skank. Have I met Billy Idol? No, never met him. Why 2 pairs of sunglasses? It's just because the person I was with earlier forgets them, and I have to take them, and they both belong to me anyway, so I don't want to lose them. So at least I've not lost 2 pairs of sunglasses. Didn't know they were there, forgot about it, but I don't really think about how I appear, but I think having 2 pairs of sunglasses kind of suits me. So there we go. I'm not really that bothered about it. Doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, so be it. Couldn't really give a damn. There we go. Have I met Richard Branson? Yes, I have. The man's a complete twat. He's a twerp. He's a village idiot. He's a gross scumbag. Wedding wrecker. Business wrecker. He's a disgrace. Absolutely loathe Richard Branson. Appalling, horrible, ghastly piece of toe rag. Vile, sick, appalling. He's up there with Philip Green. Appalling, trash. I cannot stand Richard Branson. Branson, the job killer. Branson, the man who could not run a train on time. Why would you trust him to send you into space? Absolute piece of rubbish. Nonsense. I can't stand him. Ghastly. Awful. Alex Ferguson's wife has passed away. Well, I'm very sorry for Alex Ferguson's wife having passed away. Alex Ferguson, I'll reserve judgment on him myself, but he clearly was a very talented football person. His role in horse racing I found more questionable, but there we go. So I don't have any more to say. But right. What happened to Branson's friend? He disappeared in an air balloon. I have no idea who you're talking about, so I can't answer that. I should do a show on Philip Green. I could easily talk about Philip Green for hours. refer to the Steeple Times. There are many articles about Philly G and his wife, Lady Green, who always, whenever I've met her, has insisted she's called Lady Tina. Her name is not Lady Tina. Her name is Lady Green because it's a courtesy title as a result of her husband being given a title. She is the most ridiculous person on the planet, Lady Green, not Lady Tina. And as for that degenerate daughter of hers who looks like a pig, Chloe, what a disgrace she is. She should be chucked to the pigs. Absolute disgraceful people. Those Greens, the way they treated those pensioners it's no wonder they protested. Shame on them. Absolutely shameful family. Greedy and degenerate. Just up there with the Eccleston family. Absolutely appalling people. So no, I don't like Philip Green. No, I could do a. And as for Lady Docker had a lot more class than Lady Tina, as she calls herself, and Bernie's horrible, degenerate daughters, Tamara and the other one, absolute bunch of scumbags, disgraceful, horrible people. They are bad. Calling women pigs is cruel, says Brie Barretto. You're usually lovely. No, Chloe Green is a pig. She lives off the money taken from pensioners. Hundreds of millions of pounds taken from pensioners. That is disgusting behavior. So Brie Barretto, shame on you. I totally disagree with you. And writing it in capital letters does not make it any better for you. Shame on you. You are appalling for what you have to say. I will not tolerate such nastiness to pensioners who are innocent victims of Philip Green and his disgusting pig daughter. And how dare you? What a shameful thing to say. I think you are some kind of Karen. You're awful. Great. No thank you to you. Sorry to everyone else, but I will not tolerate people sending me rants in capital letters of that type. That is whoever you are, Brie Barretto. You are usually lovely, she says. Well, you might be usually lovely, but you're certainly not lovely tonight. Take back your comment and apologize. Thank you. I like name and shame, and in your case, I accept your apology. Thank you, Brie Barretto. I understand you're cross. Sorry, she says. Thank you, Brie Barretto. I accept your apology, but please don't ever do that again. Don't write to me in capital letters. People who write to me in capital letters generally are people who are logical, because that is a stupid thing to do. And also to defend somebody who supports people who steal from pensioners is appalling. And that is exactly what was done by the Green family. The Green family are pension pot plundering creeps, terrible people. And I will not ever stop naming and shaming them. But here we go. There's an example. Brie has realized she said the wrong thing, and Brie has said sorry. So I say, thank you, Brie. We move on. We don't need to talk about Brie anymore because Brie meant well. She just got carried away with her own words, but now she's coming back again. Oh dear. I'm not defending her. Well, Brie, please don't keep digging the hole. Just please be quiet about it. There's enough. You've said enough. Talk about something else, please, Brie, because it doesn't help to carry on. But thank you, Bree, for admitting that you got it wrong. But let's not go any further with it. It is ridiculous if you keep digging. Please don't keep digging. That is silly. That is stupid. Let's move on. I don't have any more to say about Brie. Anyway, I think some of you would now like a quiz for something a bit more light-hearted. I don't know. Harriet Blanca is ready. Though she's going on about Nikki Darville, whoever Nikki is getting about. I have no idea why Nikki Darville is getting herself involved in this situation, but I don't know if this is to do with all of that. But anyway, Nikki Darville has obviously got an opinion about it, so there we are. Anyway, I will start this quiz. Okay. Right. Before I do, I'm just going to get myself a little top up of my rosé. Here we go. Now, here you are. If you would like to begin, I have the crazy Trapé wine, but I'm not sponsored by them. The wine now matches my shirt, which is even more worrying, perhaps to many of you. The first question is, which English higher education institution is known by the initials UCL? It is not Oxford. It's not Cambridge, Joanne and Jack. The winner is Celeste Forrest with University College London. Celeste is the winner. So please can we mark down Celeste for 1 point. Question number 2. What form of mechanized transport was first introduced to New York in 1907? The winner is Leslie Wilson with Taxi. Leslie Wilson is the second person to get 1 point. Question number 3. In religion, the Prophet Muhammad, whose name means literally praised, was the first leader of which religion? The winner is Simon Coates with Islam. Simon Coates is the third person to get 1 point. Simon Coates is now on the register of 1 point. I hope Harriet has noted this down. Thank you, Harriet. Question 4. Who sang the theme tune of the 1973 Bond film Live and Let Die? It was not Cilla Black. We can accept Wings according to this. So the winner is Simon Coates. He gets another point. Simon Coates. Wings. We could have accepted also Paul McCartney, but no, Wings is an acceptable answer. So Simon Coates now jumps into the lead as far as I'm aware with 2 points. Question 5. In the human body, How many anvils are there in each ear? There is not a Cilla Black. And it is not 2, it's not 6. Leslie Wilson gets a point, so Leslie Wilson joins the roster with 1. 1 is the answer, so Leslie Wilson gets 1 point. Question number 6. In which decade did Holyhead County Secondary School become Britain's first comprehensive school? We just need the decade. It was not the 80s, it wasn't the 70s. The winner with 1940s is Paulie Galtereri. Paulie gets a point. So, Paulie, you are joining the roster with 1 point. Right. Question number 7. In literature, who wrote Blot on the Landscape and Wilt? It wasn't Bleasdale, it wasn't McCarthy, it wasn't Sharp, it wasn't Cilla Black. You all think everything's Cilla Black. Bambi Debonair wins with Tom Sharp. Nicole had said Tom Share, but I don't think we can say Tom Share. Tom Sharp is the actual name. So we will allow the winner to be Bambi Debonair. So a point to Bambi Debonair. I don't know how many points Bambi Debonair has already got. But next question. In history, in which year did the Soviet Union cease to exist? The winner is Paulie, who now gets a second point with 1991. Paulie gets the point. 1991, Paulie is the point winner. Next question, number 9. In which US city might you visit the UN headquarters and the Rockefeller Center? A very easy question. The winner is again Paulie, who now gets yet another point, New York. Paulie, I think, is rocketing into the lead here, but I don't know. That is down to our scorer. Miss Diana Dawes, what are the scores on the floors? Have we any answer? We need an update on the scores, please, from our lovely scorer. Anything? Nothing? Perhaps nothing at this stage. This could be a problem, but I think that we know who's in the lead. Question number 10. Who sang The Power of Love on the soundtrack of the 1985 film Back to the Future? The winner is Sully A with Huey Lewis. The winner is Herb. Point to that one. Right. Question 11. In maths, is the denominator the number above or below the line in a fraction? Below or above? The first person to answer correctly is Joanne Taylor. So she wins with below. Question 12. Which football striker who finished as top scorer in the Premiership in 1999-2000 was named as the Carling Player of the Year? It was not Alan Shearer. It was not David Beckham, Lineker, Ronaldo. The winner is Leslie Wilson with Kevin Phillips. There we are. Question 13. In which building in Paris are Monet's water lilies paintings, which he donated to the nation in the year of his death? It's not the Louvre, no. And it doesn't matter if Jack Smith knows his daughter, because I don't think he did know his daughter, but there we are. It's not in the Notre Dame. No. Simon Coates wins with the Orangery. The Orangery. So there we are. Question 14. John Philip Sousa wrote the tune later used as the theme music for which television circus? Bambi Debonair wins with Monty Python. I will accept Monty Python. Question 15. Which astronaut was 77 years old when he went up in a space shuttle in 1998? It was not Monty Don, and it wasn't GB News. The first person to say correctly, Simon Coates gets the point. John Glenn. Simon Coates. So Simon Coates is doing very well. I have no idea who's winning, but Scores on the Doors, Miss whatever, is not telling us the update. Oh, she can't tally anything. Oh. So basically, our quiz is now a bit of a mess. This is not a good idea doing this quiz remotely, because unfortunately, the kind lady who was helping has now lost half the scores. So, as far as I'm aware, the two people winning were Simon and Bambi Debonair, but I don't know, because the person doing the scoring were since lost in the ether. Oh dear. This is not a good idea, this quiz. I'm terribly sorry. What can I do? I don't know. We shouldn't do this quiz unless I have the person in the room sitting next to me helping me. I won't be doing this again. This is a total disaster. I do apologize to you all. William thinks he won. Tea Toast and Taro says we're all winners. Well, I'm going to stop this quiz now because there's no point carrying on, because I cannot knowingly give you a winner. So I do apologize. I think it's been a bit of a waste of your time and my time also, but it's not the fault of anyone. It's just how the internet goes, and I don't have an assistant to help me, so I have to say, if you want to ask me some questions, please ask questions. I think it's better that we do that instead. Forget this quiz. I won't be doing any more of this quiz anymore, because it's a total waste of time unless I have somebody in the room to help me with it. I cannot do anything about this quiz. So let's move along. Okay. So if you want to ask me a question, you're welcome to ask me a question. No more quizzes. Quizzes are now over on this channel until I decide otherwise, because is utterly pointless. So thank you very much for your efforts, and I do realize that the lady who tried to help was meaning well, and thank you to her for trying, but it doesn't work, so it doesn't matter. So let's move along to something else. Anyway, never mind. How often do you go along Cilla Black? I don't know what that means. Cilla Black is dead. Haven't seen her in years because she's in a box. Thank God. Good riddance. She was awful. Didn't like her. I know you shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but I didn't like her. She's a nasty woman. Horrible person. Tacky and tawdry, and nobody from Liverpool liked her, from what I gather. Anyway. No, I'm not complaining about the lady the quiz. She meant well, but no. We just can't do any more because it's just not practical. Am I scared of spiders? No, I love spiders. I actually find spiders delightful. It's just insects don't really like me, which is why they devour me. So there we go. Sterling Oscar says, I don't think Cilla Black was a good singer. Controversial? No, I wouldn't say that's controversial. I'd say that's factual. I think she was dreadful. Listen to that awful video of her funeral. That was bad enough with her dreadful friend, the dreaded, awful man, the worst singer of the lot, Cliff Richard. Vile. Do I agree with banning bully dogs? I think these bully dogs are not pleasant things. Very unpleasant things. But how can you ban a dog? They will still continue to exist. It's not a pleasant thing. Don't breed dogs to kill other people or other animals. But banning them is, but there are always going to be all manner of dogs that go wild and do stupid things and kill people, and I don't know. I'm not sure if banning it is the right way forward or not. I don't know. I don't know anyone who has a bully dog. I've never met one. So. But I don't think it's the best kind of dog to own. I love lovely dogs like wolfhounds and Labradors and Jack Russells. So that's the kind of dogs I love. I've never sought out to own a bully dog. It sounds like a horrible thing. The name's off-putting. Wouldn't make me want to own one. So no. For me, no, I don't want one, but how do we ban them? I don't know. I have no idea. Harry Charles says, we rented a TV from Radio Rentals on condition we did not watch Cilla Black, which would blow the TV up. Oh, well, I hope the TV didn't blow up, Harry Charles. Token Spirit says, I'm not interested in Andrew or Fergie. Well, if you're not interested, you don't have to watch this channel. I will talk about whatever I wish to talk about. So if you don't want to hear about Andrew and Fergie, go somewhere else and get your content somewhere else. Up to you. I'm not bothered. Do I look bothered? Sound like Catherine Tate here. Really not bothered. That's the way I wish to be. I don't need to be told what I should talk about. Token Spirit says, I'm speaking to the other person who asked. I've no idea who you're talking to or what you're going on about. But anyway, you're entitled to your view, and I hope you enjoy your evening. But seriously, don't go on at me. I don't need this. Totally boring. Absolutely dull. Street Hawk says we love Cilla Black. Well, you might, but I don't. So you're entitled to your view. Good for you. Different opinions are available. We don't like Cilla Black. Most of the people around me cannot stand her. She may be dead, but no, don't miss her. Not a nice lady. I was bored to death by her. Right. Here we are. Kevin Hentz says Cilla Black made my ears bleed. Well, I would agree with Kevin Hentz. Elaine Harvey says she's very sad about Israel. This is the Third World War. Well, I do hope we don't end up in a Third World War. That would be a terrible thing, but I won't go into that matter. I'll leave that to other people to talk about on other channels tomorrow morning in a considered fashion. But I think most people know where my thoughts and feelings lie on all of these regards and in regard to war. But I think we should all seek peace as much as we can in any situation. Nikki Darville asks, when can we buy Finn's art? I have told Finn to produce some cards of the magnet. I'm believing he is in the process of doing that. And as soon as you can, we will create a way for you all to buy cards Finn has drawn of the magnet, but maybe Finn can draw other things for you. We love our Finn. Finn is one of the most lovely gentlemen, and he is a charming, fantastic force of nature. He is a lovely, talented artist, and he's a soul and a decent soul, and we love to support good people. So there we go. Token Spirit says, I've never met a Palestinian I didn't like. Well, I've never met a Jewish person I didn't like either. So I love Palestinian people and Jewish people. So, there is a balance. So let's strike a balance. Nikki Darville really wants to buy Finn's artwork. Well, thank you, Nikki. I will pass this on to him. He's very disorganized, but we will try and get him organized. There is no need for squabbling. Yes, I agree with you, Token Spirit. Paulie says Finn needs to draw Matthew. Well, no. I don't want a picture of me. That would be a disaster area. And I'm only shaking my hand because there was a mosquito and they love to. They are the only people who want to destroy me. They love eating me. But you miss Jono. I will convey your best wishes to Jono. He's busy in Broadstairs, but we have invited him to the south of France, but he is unavailable to travel. So there we are. Street Hawk keeps saying that they love Cilla Black. Well, whoever you are, Street Hawk, you're entitled to your view. I can't stand Cilla Black, so and she's dead anyway, so it doesn't really matter. She's brown bread. She's in the gutter. She's her ashes are rotting or wherever they are. So, bye. Thanks. Stop being a nuisance, whoever you are. You're trying to pollute this channel with your stupid things, and now I am banning you. Bye bye, Street Hawk. You are now banned. Too much. I don't need trolls on this channel. I don't need the village idiot. I don't need the village moron. And it's bye bye to Street Hawk. Please don't come back. You'll probably come back with another name because you're probably a troll and you work for somebody who is trying to annoy me. But there we go. So, adios, Street Hawk, as Kevin Hens says. Pip, pip. Have a lovely evening. Anyway, I don't know if you have any final questions because we are now over 1.5 hours. I'm sorry we didn't finish our quiz, but unfortunately, the lady doing the quiz got lost. So we won't be doing any more quizzes. So that's the end of that for the moment. And I think it's absolutely lovely that you're all here. Do I play an instrument? I can play the recorder, I can play the piano, I can play the violin. There you go. But I'm not very good at any of them. I'm better off at reading a book. Fiona Stevens rightly points out Cilla Black treated air stewards and employees like dirt. Yes, she was well known for her abuse of any form of staff. She was a very snobbish, snotty woman. Paulie has mentioned Aqua de Palma. That's my favorite aftershave. So yes, if you want to send me some of that, please do. I love Aqua de Palma. Just the original, the cheapest version is my favorite. There we go. Harry Giles says you could add more admins. Well, I would try. I'm just adding you, Harry Giles, as a managing moderator. Harry Giles, for your dedication and enthusiasm, you have been... Oh, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm trying to do this. No. I don't know. I've tried to add you. It doesn't seem to wish to do this, but we'll have to do it another way. But Harry Giles would be a welcome moderator, but I don't know if I can actually do this. No, it doesn't seem to want to allow it. I did try, Harry Giles, to add you as a moderator, but it doesn't work. I shall have to ask my technical person how this works in due course. There we go. William has been excellent blocking the trolls. Well, thank you to William. William is a very kindly gentleman, very kind. And do I think it's not strange that Russell Brand didn't get arrested? Well, we're still awaiting process. Everything takes time, and that's how things work. That's all we have to say on that. More questions? I guess there are none. So, who is Harry Styles? Well, I think you can refer to the internet for your answers to that. That's nothing to do with me. And on that note, I shall say a very happy evening to you all. I hope you all have a lovely evening. Glorious. Thank you ever so much. And have a wonderful evening. Good night. Good gardening. And as Jill Dando would say, don't have nightmares. Take care. Good night. Pip, pip. Love to you all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good night.